But we got this clip here from the promoter. Is George Rose is the promoter, right? Not the manager. He's the promoter of Tszyu, right?
Yeah, the promoters are George and Matt Rose. The manager is Glenn Jennings.
All right, let's play this clip here. To put things into context, Brian Castano, WBO champion, is injured. He got a bicep injury. He wants to postpone the fight. What was the date? Was it supposed to be March the 6th? Originally?
March 19th. March 19th.
March the 19th, it was supposed to be
March 19th.
Charlo versus Castano 2 for Undisputed. The last fight happened last July, 2021. And Castano has come down with a bicep injury. The WBO, basically because of Tszyu and his team, wanted Castano to show cause, or basically show us proof of your injury if you want this fight to be pushed back. Castano and his team wants the fight to take place in April. We haven't heard anything from Charlo. The sanctioning bodies are all up. So here, let me play this clip and let them explain it to you from ESPN first before we listen to George Rose. Here's what they said on Maximum Boxing earlier today, and it'll make more sense.
Crazy fast twitchies and crazy power. So, Mike, the Jermell Charlo-Brian Castano rematch for all the belts at 154 was supposed to happen March 19th. It was coming right up. But Castano had to withdraw due to a partially torn right bicep. When is he healthy? Like, when are we going to see these two get back in the ring?
I'm told that Castano is still training. Of course, he's not using his right arm, but he's still training in the gym. He suffered the injury in sparring, and I'm told he's going to be out at least 4 weeks. So rematch at end of April at the earliest, I would say. But there are complications because we're talking about 4 titles here. That's 4 sanctioning bodies to deal with, and they had to put off a lot of mandatories just to make the first fight in July of last year, and that was an excellent fight. And then they had to go through the same thing again, talking to the sanctioning bodies, pushing off the mandatories. And right now, Tszyu, the son of Hall of Famer Tszyu, is pushing for his mandatory shot. He was supposed to fight Gausha on the undercard of that fight. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, hey, Tim, you can wait another month. A month's not going to kill anybody. Come on.
Now, I'm going to play this clip from the promoter, George Rose, of Tszyu, that he did a few days ago.
In LA for Tim's first expedition over to the US, and then the recent news with what's happened with Castano, it's thrown all of that into disarray. So apparently Castano's been injured and unavailable to fight on the March 19 set date. That was there, Tim's the mandatory challenger still for the WBO, and that fight was meant to take place by early February, and because the unification bout was going to take place, we allowed for that to be extended and for that fight to happen. And then now that this has happened, we're looking to push for that opportunity to take the place of Castano. Tszyu has been in a training camp already for the last 7 odd weeks, and he said he's happy to put his hand up to save the show and step in against Jermell Charlo.
Well, to that point, we have seen the tweet from the president of the WBO. It seems to suggest this unification bout between Castano and Charlo will not be rescheduled. Firstly, your take on that, and just to underline the thought of Tim, he thinks he can step in.
Well, look, it's really important for us. We've been campaigning in the WBO for quite a long time. Tim's proudly represents the WBO in every one of his fights. He's a global champion, and he's one of the most active fighters in boxing, in world boxing. So for Tim, he's been waiting for this opportunity. He stayed busy. He kept active. He kept fighting, kept defending, and he's ready for that mandatory challenge. And it's great that the WBO is supportive of that because Tim's ready to go. Tim's ready to fight, and he's one of them special fighters who will fight anyone, anywhere, anytime. And if that means that he takes a position of Castano against Charlo, he's ready to go. He's ready to fight in LA. He's ready to fight anywhere to make this happen.
Realistically, though, George, what's the chances? What have the WBO said to you already?
The conversations have been positive so far. Obviously, the injury is very fresh, so it's only just happened. There's there's still a lot for them to consider at the moment. But for us, we will keep pushing, keep campaigning for Tim to be the next WBO champion. And as soon as he gets that opportunity, I know he's going to be the next champion.
All right, stop it there. Stop it there.
So what's your thoughts on this, Big J?
Well, when George Rose said that Tim will fight anyone, anywhere, anytime, yeah, right. He's never fought out of Australia, so you can't make that claim. That's completely false. And I think people are forgetting, they said it 3 times, he's a mandatory to Castano, not Charlo. Charlo doesn't have to do a damn thing concerning Tim Tszyu. Charlo can just go, here's your ticket, son, wait in line, there's about 4 people ahead of you. Charlo doesn't have to do a damn thing in regards to Tim Tszyu. And he's not going to fight Tim Tszyu because Martinez, the IBF mandatory, is in front of him. So Tim Tszyu has no claim to fight Charlo. I mean, ranked 3rd in the WBC? I don't think he's ranked in the WBA, and he's ranked 3rd IBF.
Let me read Tim Tszyu's particulars here. Tim Tszyu is ranked number 3 by the WBC. He is not ranked by the WBA, number 3 by the IBF, and number 1 by the WBO. And remember, we both disputed that he shouldn't have been even mandatory over Kabanov by the WBO. But, they chose him, for whatever reasons.
Yeah, I'm still disputing that because at least Kabanov's got a victory over Liam Smith, who's a former WBO champ, and he's going to fight Trexerica. So he has a lot stronger case of what Tszyu does. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
20-0 with 15 KOs, 27 years old. Last fight, Gausha Inoue, Steve Spark, then it's Hogan, who we got an interview we're going to be uploading. Bowen Morgan, Jeff Horn, and then before that, Jack Brubaker, and pretty much nothing of any relevance before that.
Dwight Ritchie was a pretty relevant fight. He was well ranked at the time.
So he wants to basically jump the line over, Murtazaliev, who is the mandatory, who is by right the number 1 guy. He wants to just jump the line to fight Charlo of all.
Yeah, and
not Castano. You don't want to. He's not saying, okay, well, when Castano gets uninjured, I want to fight him. He wants to go after all the other 3 belts in which he's not even, mandatory for.
Yeah, that's not going to happen unless Charlo wants to have an easy defense of his belts, because Charlo wouldn't take very long to clean him up. So, yeah, I think that's a little bit delusional by their team. It's like, he's not going to get Charlo. They've been saying, remember the video that we did, when was that, about a year ago, where Charlo said, yeah, sorry, mate, yeah, ain't going to happen? Remember that video we did a while back? Yeah. I mean, Charlo's not going to fight Tszyu unless he's a mandatory for the WBC or the IBF, and that's not going to happen. I mean, Murtazaliev is number 1 contender IBF. He's the first in line to fight Charlo. And then you've got Erickson Lubin's got to fight Sebastian Fedor for the number 2 spot.
Yeah.
Charlo
and then you got Israel Madrimov. Israel Madrimov is the WBA mandatory. So Charlo has 3. Tim Tszyu is not. He can't just jump the line unless Charlo chooses him.
Number 5.
But Charlo can't choose him because Charlo's got the mandatory obligations.
Exactly. The IBF's not going to let
Charlo
Tim
has
do
no
that.
voluntaries. He can't fight any voluntaries.
Exactly. It's mandatories only. And Murtazaliev's first in line. And wasn't Murtazaliev supposed to fight on that same card?
Yeah, Murtazaliev, that's the news that was coming out, is that the undercard was going to feature Charlo versus Castano, Tim Tszyu versus Terrell Gausha, Bakram Murtazaliev versus, whoever he was going to fight.
Yeah, well, as I said, why can't they just wait a month? The fight will be delayed a month, and it'll just happen
This goes to say and show, listen, Tim Tszyu should fight Murtazaliev.
Well, how long have we been going on with that?
Yeah.
We've been saying that for 6 fucking months.
Fight Murtazaliev.
Exactly. Don't worry about this Terrell Gausha bloke. No disrespect to him. But, I mean, I know Tim doesn't want to risk his number 1 status, which is fair enough, but fight Murtazaliev. When's the last time Murtazaliev fought? Like a year ago? He was on the last undercard.
Charlo Castano 1 undercard.
Well, there you go. Well, that's a fair.
And he's been mandatory for at least 2 years, at least.
I'm surprised the IBF let it carry on that long. I'm surprised the IBF didn't make Charlo fight him earlier.
Yeah, but that's what they were talking about on ESPN, how difficult it is for the fight to go ahead, because of the mandatories. and the sanctioning bodies came together and said, all right, we're going to let it go through. And now you have Tszyu trying to jump the line. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, logically, like, basically with the politics and the belts, it does not make sense. Like, it can't happen.
No, it's not going to happen.
He can't
there's
just
no other
jump
way
in.
that
You know, that would be a lawsuit.
Yeah.
You know, like, he can't just jump in like that and just get a title shot for all 3 belts.
Considering he has no claim to either one of them.
Yeah.
So he's got to claim the WBO, but not the other 3, not even close.
So we did talk about, you did get a chance to talk to Dennis Hogan, and we're going to be uploading the interview. Here is my question. You know, who do you think Tszyu has a better chance against? Jermell Charlo or Brian Castano?
I think I remember if I talked to Dennis, he said he wouldn't have a chance against either of them. So, and I'm the same.
The better chance.
But I think the better chance probably. God, I think he nitpicker said it might have been Charlo.
Yeah.
Style-wise, Charlo's a better fight for him. A lot of people have been saying that, if I remember. I mean, this interview was a week and a half ago now, so I think he said that, but I do remember, I'm pretty sure that he said he wouldn't win against either of them, but Charlo would probably be style-wise.
Because
I said on the record many times, I don't think he'd beat either of them.
Yeah, I don't think he can beat either of them because the pressure of Castano would just be too much. And just the power and the boxing ability of Charlo, you know, and the experience, you know, that he has would just be too much. I just don't think he has a chance.
Not at this stage. I mean, if he fought, you know, if he beat Murtazaliev, if he beat Kambosos, if he beat Erickson Lubin, yeah, sure, then you could say, yeah, he's got a really good chance. But at the moment, no. It's very, very slim.
We'll know something in the next couple of weeks since we're short on time. We will definitely know something in the next couple of weeks because the WBO wants this to be resolved. And as you can see, you know, you got, as you call him, Tszyu the Vulture circling around. And, you know, the other mandatories in the division and the other ranked fighters are looking at this like, hold up, like, what's going on? You know, like, is this fight going to happen or not? I want my shot. So closing thoughts on Charlo Castano, the Tszyu situation?
Well, just wait a month. I think they'll just put it back a month. They'll have the fight there. You know, Murtazaliev will fight whomever. Tim will still fight this Gausha bloke.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, hopefully Tim can make a pretty big statement that, you know, I don't think he's ready for a title fight, not yet. But even if he, you know, makes a good statement against this Gausha bloke, then he can, you know, have a number 1 contender spot against what's old mate's name, Murtazaliev.
Yeah. Or
Murtazaliev fights Charlo. It's like, I think Charlo Castano will probably go to a trilogy. I just have a gut feeling about that.
Mm.
So I think, you know, regardless who wins, they'll probably do it again because the first one was a draw. So that's just my opinion. I think they're going to have to handle
mandatory obligations before they do it again. If it is a third fight, they would have to have an interim against their mandatories and get that out of the way and then win those before there is a third fight.
Yeah. Well, I really want to see Tszyu fight this Murtazaliev bloke, even for an interim title. I think that should be the way to go because that way the winner is guaranteed the winner of Charlo Castano too. But anyway,
all right,
we'll see what happens.
Well, we're going to wrap up right there and see you guys in a couple of weeks with the latest in Australian boxing news. Take your time out, like the video, and comment down below if there's any other Australian boxing topics you wanted to talk about. We're going to try to make sure we keep the content fresh every video that we do on Aussie boxing content, and expect for us to be ramping up our coverage in Australian boxing and getting to Australian boxing events. So we will keep you updated on that. Please take your time out. It really means a lot if you like the video, subscribe, and thank you for watching, and we will be seeing you soon.